Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 197. My name's Adam Patterson. Joining me today, Kevin Rackstraw. How you doing there, Kevin?
Doing pretty good.
We're recording early in the morning. This is, maybe this is the earliest we've ever recorded?
I think so.
Oof. I will try to remain awake and coherent during this time. I'm not a morning person, so we'll see how this goes. How was your Christmas?
Christmas was good. It was hectic, but good.
Yeah.
Yours?
Oh, it was good. Yeah. Mine
wasn't. That 70-degree weather.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. We went to go see the tree at Rockefeller, and I was wearing a t-shirt, and I was still hot.
Yeah, it was
unbelievable.
It was bizarre. It's quite bizarre.
Yes, it felt weird. It felt really weird.
Extremely weird.
Yeah. Good Christmas all around though. Mine wasn't hectic. Mine was pretty laid back. Mine was nice.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. This week on the show, we'll be rounding up 2015 by discussing our top movies of the year. Very exciting. We'll also be talking about some Star Wars in a spoiler review. So we decided to wait a couple weeks here, and that way we could just get all the spoilers out. Most people have seen it by now. We'll be sure to put a disclaimer up before we start the review, and we probably won't discuss spoilers until a few minutes into our review just in case. And then we'll also be putting warnings all over the show notes and all that stuff.
I think a lot of people have already seen it like 2-3 times.
Yeah, most people have seen it multiple times at this point. We'll also be going over some we've been watching on the watch list, movie predictions, new on video on demand, and Blu-ray releases. First up, I don't actually have any news. I mean, there's some Star Wars news. There really wasn't much that came out this week due to the holidays. Star Wars surpassed $1 billion worldwide.
Wow.
$1 billion.
Didn't see that coming.
I mean, I predicted this, that it was going to be the highest grossing film of all time. Like I don't think anyone needed to predict that. I think it was just a foregone conclusion. Yeah. So it's just destroying it's shattering every record.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably by the end of January, it'll have surpassed everything. It'll beat out Avatar for the number one spot, which it should. Why is Avatar number one? Come on.
That's still bizarre to me.
It should not be number one. What I'm wondering is if it's gonna beat the original Star Wars for adjusted gross, because if you on Box Office Mojo they have a box office gross adjusted for inflation, and when you adjust it for inflation, Star Wars, the original Star Wars, is the second highest grossing film of all time.
Okay. So
I'm wondering if it's gonna surpass that. I think it will. It's like, I think the original Star Wars, I don't have it in front of me, but it's like somewhere around $1.6 billion or something.
Wow.
So it has potential to pass the original Star Wars.
That's so much money.
Interestingly, the number one highest grossing film adjusted for inflation is Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
Could it surpass Gone with the Wind?
Who knows?
In terms of numbers.
Oh boy.
Don't really have any other news. I do want to talk about a comment that was thrown at us last week on our regarding our Carol review. Of course, this comes from YouTube. I feel like all the trolley comments come from YouTube.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to read this out. This is from a user by the name of Curious Bastion.
Okay.
Curious Sebastian, sorry. This is straight up, this is regarding our Carol review. That is straight up homophobic to say that people have to pretend to like a film with queer main characters. Carol is based off a book written in 1952, and the reason the film is getting the overwhelmingly positive reviews is because of Haynes' direction. Subtlety isn't something Philistines usually appreciate. So
you got served.
Yeah, I want to address this because now I've officially been called a homo lover and a homophobe. So I got two ends of the spectrum being thrown at me here.
When were you called a homo lover?
Oh, way back when I reviewed that Christian movie.
Oh yeah. You're a complex man, Adam.
Yeah, you just can't win. You just can't win.
You're a complex man.
Now, if you go back and listen to the review of Carol, I did say that people were just liking that movie because of the subject matter, and I stand by that. But I was really trying to figure out why it was getting such accolades. I was trying to formulate a theory as to why this movie was so popular this year.
Gotcha.
Not popular, but acclaimed.
Yeah, people love it, Carol.
I mean, I'm not gonna apologize for the comments that I said. I didn't feel like it was homophobic at all. So
I'm trying to remember what you said.
I pretty much said when we were at the beginning of the review, I said, "What's the big deal with Carol?" And I said, I believe that some people are liking this just because of the subject matter in it, or claiming to like it because of the subject matter.
Gotcha. That's straight up homophobic.
Yeah, I mean, how is it homophobic? I don't get it. Like, was I saying, like, was I telling people you shouldn't like it because of the gay themes? I don't think so. In fact, I never said that I didn't like the movie to begin with.
Yeah, you just weren't that high on it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I liked the movie. It was fine. Anyway.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah,
it's a fine movie.
Just thought I should point that out. And for the record, I'm not homophobic. One thing that does bother me, though, is that, this movie is getting such attention when there are plenty of other LGBT movies that came out this year that are getting that aren't getting talked about whatsoever, and I feel like they should.
Yeah.
I mean, movies like Tangerine, 52 Tuesdays, Duke of Burgundy, these are all movies that should, I feel, should be getting talked about more than Carol.
Yeah. I think I would agree with you. Yeah, I liked all three of those more than Carol.
Yeah. So, still, just to set the record straight, I didn't dislike Carol. If you listen to my review, it's not that I was just trying to figure out why it was so popular. And Haynes' directing, rather, I didn't think that it was anything special.
Nah. Nope.
And the Philistine comment, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's just true.
Maybe you have something there. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one, buddy.
There you go.
Anyway, starting off kind of on a sour note, really.
It's all right.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about our top films of 2015. Now, Kevin, what did you think of 2015 overall? What were your thoughts? Brief thoughts in summation. 2015. Go.
2015 was a pretty good year, I have to say. There wasn't a lot of. I'll go out and say that there wasn't a lot of, a large number of films that like completely blew me away, masterpiece style. But overall, pretty impressive slate of films that I got to see. Plus, there's still so many that I didn't get to see that I've heard nothing but good things about.
Yeah.
Which is always the bummer thing when we get down to the end of the year and we make our list and everything.
There's always a couple. Yeah.
I always feel like a complete asshole that I haven't seen every single film from 2015.
Yeah, because then it always sucks, especially when you make lists, like public lists, like what we do, because there's always like caveats that you have to add, before you start your list. Like, well, I didn't see this and this, and they may end up on the list. And then like after you see them, you're like, fuck, they should have been on the list. And
the worst part is a lot of times you'll see that movie like 4 days after the fact.
Yeah, exactly. Like so close.
You finally get to see it, and you're like, God damn it.
Yeah,
that would have been top 5
for me this year. So if you follow either of us on Letterboxd, we keep a running list of our top movies of the year. So you can go to each of our Letterboxd pages and check out our full list. My list is currently at 220 movies this year.
Damn, mine's at 126.
That's still good though. That's still impressive. Well,
the other thing too is it's so difficult nowadays to know like what's a 2015 release and
I
what's
have a
not.
I have a very strict rule set that I use. It has to be a non-festival release. It has to have some sort of theatrical or VOD release in 2015 in the US.
Yeah, that's kind of what I go by too.
The only thing that makes it difficult is movies that come out at the end of the year, the very end of the year, because then that really muddies the waters. Because, like, for instance, Selma, that I don't believe got a decent release until 2015, but that was by and large considered a 2014 movie.
Yeah,
So
and it's going to be the same
they're
way for me with like the Hateful Eight
yeah,
and the
hateful.
Revenant.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
not getting them until 2016.
right. Yeah. The Revenant and the Hateful Eight is going to be one this year for a lot of people that slip through the cracks because they're not getting any kind of wide release until next month.
But then again, it's those types of films I don't feel too bad about because they're so fucking big that everyone's going to be talking about them anyway. So, do you really need me to be like, yes, that's my number 7 film?
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, exactly. So, I thought that this was a really good year too. I think that there were some big standouts. It's always hard for me to look back at the year when it's just ended. It's easier for me to look back, several years down the road. Like, I could look back at 2012 or 2013 now and be like, yeah, it was a great year. It was a solid year.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's all about how memorable the movies were in, like, as a whole. There, like, for me this year, there were a number of really, really huge movies just that came out that were my personal kind of movies, like that just appealed to me.
Yeah, and plus the whole, how it sticks with you, kind of like you were saying. You can be really big on a movie when it first comes out and right after you saw it and when we're discussing it and everything, but then, you're looking back at it 7 months later and you're just kind of like, I know I liked that movie, but
Right.
why? Why was I so big on it?
Exactly. Like, I think about The Artist sometimes and how I was so huge on The Art. I gave that like a 9 out of 10. I was like, oh, it's the best movie of the year. And it's like, I don't even I barely remember that movie. Like, it's,
I remember there being a dog.
yeah, it's
I
like,
still haven't seen that movie, actually.
well, you don't, at this point, you don't need to. I mean, it's come
There's
and
no
gone.
point.
That
I
was
missed the train on that one.
That was the movie of that year, and that's it. It's interesting. I think Quentin Tarantino talked about this recently because he was talking about It Follows, and then he was talking about I can't remember the example that he was using. I think it was The Kids Are All Right or something, or one of those like really, really popular dramas. And he was comparing them, and he was saying, like, there's certain movies that get all the praise that year and get all the critical praise and win all the awards, but then they get forgotten. But movies like It Follows, that'll stick with people. They'll remember that. People will be watching that years down the road. It's just like in the Oscars when Ordinary People won the Best Picture and beat out Raging Bull.
Yeah.
It's like there's certain.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of movies like that because I think about this quite often. Like, who watches The English Patient?
Right, exactly.
I never hear anyone bring up, not even like in a joking manner, like making fun of the movie. I just never hear anyone talk about The English Patient ever.
Yeah.
Except for the year that it came out.
Yep.
Which makes me wonder, did that movie actually come? Was that a real movie? Or was
I saw
that an elaborate joke?
I saw it, and it was. I was too young, I think, to really appreciate anything about that movie. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'd be too young now to appreciate anything about that movie. All I remember is that it was so freaking long, and at the time, I think it was like probably 10 or 11 when that came out. It was just so boring to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
So anyway, looking at my list, I think it was definitely a good year. I would say on my list, you have to go down to like around the 121st spot to get into movies that I actively did not like. And even that, actually, some of these I probably could reorder. I've been reordering this list all weekend.
Every day.
Really,
Every day for the
really,
last, like 7 months.
I mean, there's too many. There's just too many for me to order in the middle. Really, what you want to look at on my list is the top 30 and probably the bottom 10. Avoid the bottom 10. Check out the top 30. Everything in the middle is different shades of meh.
Gotcha.
So
let's get into
it. Let's talk about. You want to do 20?
It's up to you. What do you want to do?
Well, I think in our written, well, you're doing 50 because you have to one up me all the time. But I think I'm gonna be doing top 20 in my written list. So let's just stick with that. Let's just do top 20. I've been reorganizing this list right up to the wire. So I don't know. This is by no means a definitive list. This is entirely arbitrary. I'd say my top 5 will probably
stop stalling.
All right, let's talk about number 20. Kevin, what's your number 20?
My number 20 is 5-star.
5-star, solid movie. It is
Keith Miller. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that one was a surprise.
I quite enjoyed that one.
That's number 55 on my list. It sounds bad, but it's actually. I mean, I liked it quite a bit.
No, I know what you're saying, because I think on my list, once you get down to like, I think up until like 53, 54, those are all films that I recommend.
Yeah, exactly.
One way or another. And then everything after it's kind of like, eh.
Yeah. So 5-star. Who directed that? I don't have that in front of me.
Keith Miller.
Keith Miller. Check that out. I recommend that one too. My number 20 is Turbo Kid.
Turbo Kid.
Yeah. Love this movie. Big surprise. I was excited to see it, but at the same time I didn't expect much, because there's a lot of movies like Turbo Kid out there. There's a lot of movies that kind of have the like the throwback kind of retro nostalgia vibe.
Yeah, trying to get those nostalgia hooks in.
Yeah, cashing in on that nostalgia train. But this one really works and has a surprising amount of heart to it, which was the one thing that really surprised me and made me enjoy it. So that's Turbo Kid, my number 20. What's your number 19, Kevin?
My number 19 is Reality. But Dupio.
Little Dupio action.
Dupio.
Yeah, I wasn't quite as taken with this one as you, but I'd recommend this one too.
Just love the absurdity of it all.
Yeah, if you're into absurdist comedy, really weird, kind of goofy stuff.
Got that dream logic going on.
Yeah.
Just much better, much more refined dream logic going on than what he's normally done. Because while I liked his prior stuff, he draws it out a bit too much. But I think Reality was the one where he tweaked it for me and got it right.
He honed in on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Laser focus.
Yeah. I recommend Reality. My number 19 is one that I'm sure that you don't recommend because you didn't like it, and that's Dope.
No, I don't. No.
I had a blast with Dope. I love 90s hip hop, and I love the hip hop culture, and I thought that this movie was really funny. I loved the fast-paced, kinetic style of this. There was so much going on. Now, one of the criticisms you had about this movie, if I remember correctly, was that it was so heavy on plot, and I completely agree with that. But it wasn't enough. It didn't detract for me. I thought that it added to just the chaos that was this movie, and yeah, Dope, big fan.
Dope. All right. My number 18 is Mommy.
Okay.
David Dillon. This is one that's kind of dropped for me. It's one that I keep coming back to. I'm like, man, I was really high on this one when it came out.
Yeah.
But now with everything else, it's just like I was like, oh, let's drop it at 1 space.
Yeah,
okay, let's drop it 2 spaces.
There were a couple. I'm not gonna say which ones, but there were a couple that were really high up on my list that dropped way down.
Yeah, but Mommy, performances.
Yeah, well, we'll be talking about that in a little bit. Just a little foreshadowing. My number 18 is Mustang.
All right.
Yeah. This one was a lot heavier than I initially thought it was gonna be, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I thought that this was a great little film, and absolutely check it out.
They handled quite well the subject matter and everything.
Yeah,
Because there was a little trepidation at first because once you figure out what's going on, you're kind of worried it being a first time director and everything that it's going to be a bit heavy handed and kind of down your throat. But damn,
yeah,
the way it was handled.
Yeah, definitely packs punch, that one. So check out Mustang. Actually, I don't know if it's available on VOD or what. In fact, let me just say I don't know what the status of any of these movies are at this point, as far as home viewing. So write them down, add them to your watch list on Letterboxd.
Just wait for it to come around and pounce on it.
Yeah. And what's your number 17?
More Fu.
Okay.
From Jessica Hausner. And the main reason is number one, cinematography. Pretty much every single scene is like a perfect shot. Just the framing and everything is absolutely fantastic. The production design is great. The story itself was actually quite surprising because you know me, I'm not a big period piece type guy, but it's so bizarre that it's kind of got like a black humor to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guy he's looking for love because he wants to die. And it's just weird that how it's played. It's played so straight and like such a romantic comedy, period piece romantic comedy. But it's about a guy trying to find someone to commit suicide with.
Yeah, interesting. It's very odd.
This is, I do know what's going on with this one. This one's on Play Instant on Netflix.
Okay.
So you can check that out right now.
Cool. My number 17 is Goodnight Mommy. This is, actually, just looking at my list here, I didn't really see that there are a number of horror movies on my list, and that usually doesn't happen. I'm a huge horror movie guy, but at the end of the year, on my main list, the horror movies rarely make the cut. This year, there's actually quite a number of horror movies on this list, so that's, I don't know, it's just kind of an interesting observation I just made. Goodnight Mommy, really interesting, slow burn horror movie about a mother who comes back from being in the hospital, and her twin sons believe that she may not be who she says she is.
Oh shit.
And shit gets real in this movie.
It sure does. It gets real.
Yeah, if you have a problem with creepy children, maybe, you know what, check it out.
Cockroaches? You have a problem with cockroaches?
Yeah, lots of cockroaches.
Maybe not.
Still great though. I love the cinematography in this movie as well. So, in fact, again, looking at my list, one of the main reasons that most of these movies were picked was cinematography.
Yeah,
with the exception of I think probably two of them.
Yeah, because I don't know if you saw the top 50 that I posted yesterday. I've kind of foregone the whole like trying to write out a little blurb because I just got sick and tired of doing it. So just
for 50 of them, geez.
Yeah. So I'm just like one word or whatever, and pretty much like when I'm going down through them, everything's just like, what did I like the most? Visuals. What did I like the most about this one? Visuals.
Yeah.
It's pretty much for all of them. And for my next one, which is number 16, A Thousand Suns, directed by Matty Diop. It's a documentary, it's a hybrid type deal. And this is only like 45 minutes long, 43 minutes, something like that. It's a short doc. I think we talked about it on the last podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But again, main reason, visuals. The subject matter at hand. The fact that it's like pretty much just it's a solid documentary at the start from the outset. And then it just makes this complete shift, just this like seamless shift into a different genre altogether. And the way it ends and everything that it tackles in this short amount of time is quite spectacular. To be able to pull all that off in only like 40 minutes.
Cool. That's A Thousand Suns. My number 16 is Ex Machina, directed by Alex Garland. This is another one that I was mildly interested in seeing this, and the end result was not at all what I expected to a certain degree, and I came off of it just really, really impressed with this one. And I'd say if you're even remotely into science fiction, check out Ex Machina, because it is solid.
Yeah, I don't know if you can say that you're into sci-fi and not watch that one.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's definitely one of the best sci-fi movies of the year for sure.
Number 15 for me, What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, that's a little bit higher on my list.
Vampire mockumentary. I know, and I feel bad because, and this is the number one thing I hate about, trying to rank movies, especially when you have all these different genres going on, and comedies kind of naturally,
Well,
and horrors to a certain extent too. They kind of get pushed down a little bit
yeah,
because if I set it up against, one of the other movies, I'm like, well, I mean, one's a mockumentary about vampires, and the other one's like a serious
right,
exploration of
right.
human themes.
So what Mary does on her list, and hers will be posted up probably sometime this week. What she does is she picks the best of each genre.
There you go.
And compiles that as her top 10 list of the year. And she was going through all the comedies this year. And this year was just an awful year for comedy. It really was.
Yeah.
There was like
great
four notable ones that came out. There was like What We Do in the Shadows, Appropriate Behavior, Wild Canaries, maybe Trainwreck if you want to include that, or Spy.
I would count L for Leisure before Trainwreck.
Yeah, but yeah, What We Do in the Shadows is a little bit higher up on my list. My number 15 is The Wolfpack.
Wolfpack.
Yeah, this documentary really, it just really hit me. I saw it at Tribeca, I think, and yeah, it just really struck a chord with me. I thought it was a fascinating little documentary, and I've seen it twice now. I saw it again after it came out, and I enjoyed it just as much the second time around. So I think that these are just the Angelo brothers are just fascinating characters, and I want to see more of them. They had an art installation here in the city recently. And I want to see them do more. So
you just want to see what these guys got going on.
Yeah, because I think
what they're up to.
They had such a horrific sort of upbringing, but at the same time, they're just such creative guys. And,
yeah.
I would highly recommend the Wolfpack.
All right, my number 14.
It's like such a struggle all of a sudden.
I don't like saying this title, but I feel as though I have to say the title because it's the title. So I'm just gonna say it real fast. So my number 14 is Field Niggas. So yeah.
Okay. I didn't know what you were going for there, and I was like, what is he? Is he talking about? I don't know what title he's talking about.
Yeah. So that one, Kalika Law, and just again visuals, and just the originality of this documentary. It's almost like he reinvented the city symphony film genre, where he's just talking to people in the street and he's just filming them, but in the way that he doesn't match up the audio with the visual. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one yet, but it's on my watch list. I just haven't got around to it.
And it's very enlightening because it gives you kind of like a window into a world that at least I've never seen or been a part of. So
yeah, very interesting. I don't know where you can see that one. I don't think
this is on. If you search, it's on Vimeo. You can watch it for free.
Oh, cool. My number 14 is Spring.
Ooh.
Justin Benson, Aaron Moorhead. This is such an interesting movie. It's hard to categorize it in any kind of specific genre because it's a little bit of everything. It's definitely a love story. I think it's centered around a love story, but there are definitely horror elements in there. There are definitely comedic elements in there, and I was just really, really taken with this movie.
See, this is one that I was kind of I quite enjoyed when I first saw it, but then when I'm kind of going through the list and looking at all these films, it's one that just kept getting pushed down and pushed down because I really from right now looking back, I can't like pinpoint anything that I liked about it. I know that I enjoyed it when I watched it.
Nah, we can go back and listen to our review, or maybe see
I
it
just,
again.
I just don't know what it
The
was.
visuals were really quite marvelous in that movie.
I would imagine that I like the visuals.
I'll tell you, the movie that did that for me was Wild Tales. Wild Tales was like number 4 on my list for the longest time, and as the weeks went on, I forgot more and more and more about that movie to the point where I remember almost nothing about that movie.
That is the biggest. I think that might be the biggest movie from this year. That still, when I see, because I wasn't that. I mean, I enjoyed myself when I watched it back when we covered it. I thought it was all right. It was a fun time. That's still one that, like, when it pops up, I'll see someone on Letterboxd give it like 4 stars, and I'm just thinking, what is it with Wild Tales?
I remember loving it, but I honestly cannot remember anything about that movie. I remember how it was structured, where it was just, vignettes.
Little short stories.
But for the life of me, I can't remember a lot of them. I don't know. All right. What's your number 13?
My number 13 is The Idiot Faces Tomorrow.
Okay.
By Cameron Warden, which is, I just covered this like last month or something like that. A little indie. It's on Vimeo right now. You can watch that sucker for free. It's, again, visuals, because it's a mix of like super 8mm VHS, 16mm HD. It's got a little bit of everything.
It's a smorgasbord.
It is. It truly is. It's like if Ponderosa was a movie.
Golden Corral. The Golden Corral, the movie.
It's just the originality of it. It's a challenging film. I will be upfront. It's 2.5 hours of experimental stuff, but it's definitely worth it.
Cool. What's the title of that again? I always forget. The Idiot
Faces Tomorrow. Also, another thing is the central performance. The main guy, it's a good performance and everything, but I don't know who it is because there's no credits to the movie. Because at the end it just says a film by, and then it has all the names listed of people that did stuff, but it doesn't tell you what they did.
Interesting.
So whoever that guy is, good job. But I don't know who it was.
You should when you're making your
I almost did.
You should just put the guy from.
I almost put just this guy from. And it was just going to be a picture of him.
That would have been funny.
I should have done that.
My number 13 is The Revenant.
Dick?
You're
a dick.
Alejandro G. Iñárritu. So I just saw this one this weekend. So it was really tough for me to put this on my top 20 list, and I didn't even know where I was going to place it because this one's so fresh for me that I just don't know. And that's the other kind of downside about these movies that come out late, very, very late in the year. I don't know where this one's going to sit because I'm honestly still processing this one. Same with the Hateful Eight, really. I'm still processing both of those movies because they just came out this weekend, and I'm just coming off of them. But what I can say for certain about The Revenant, and the main reason that it ended up on this list, immediately was the visuals. I mean, this movie is absolutely freaking gorgeous, and it is so visceral. That would be my one word descriptor of this movie. It is visceral.
Now, do you think that it's a movie for pussies?
No. Pussies need not apply to The Revenant. This is a man's movie.
Forget women ever seen this.
Well, that's the thing. Like I've seen several blurbs. I haven't read any full reviews for this movie yet.
The only thing that I've seen is the Jeff Wells thing, which was just like, give me a fucking break. And then the Peter Travers thing, where it's just like, what the fuck is Peter Travers doing?
What did Peter Travers say?
He was the one that was like, it's not a movie for pussies. And I'm thinking, you're Peter Travers. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you talking about?
Dictionary.
Like, how old are you? You ready for Rolling Stone? You fucking love every movie.
Yeah. The reason for him writing movies is to generate pull quotes for.
Yeah, like all you do is write pull quotes.
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about the Revenant when we go over our watch list, but yeah, that's my number 13.
Okay, that's number 3. So we're on 12 now.
Yep.
So this is where we get into my weird rules structure type thing. Number 12 is The Winds That Scatter from Christopher Jason Bell, and this is weird because it's not distributed yet, but it was for 2 days open on Vimeo. So to me, that's enough.
I would say that is enough. Yeah,
Because everyone had a chance to see it, so I count it.
I would count that because I consider Vimeo to be VOD, and even if it was like for free, available for free for 2 days, I would say that I would still count Vimeo as like a video on demand provider.
Yep.
So I would count that on mine.
I'm counting it up. This is one I'm quite high on. Quite enjoy this film.
Cool. Yeah, and I know you talked that up quite a bit. My number 12 is What We Do in the Shadows. Certainly the funniest film of the year, in my opinion. I had a great time. I had a blast with this one. This is another one that I've seen multiple times, and even on second watches, it's still just as funny to me.
Yeah.
It's definitely my brand of humor. It's the kind of humor that I like, where it's dry, but it tends to get goofy too, and it doesn't in no way takes itself seriously ever. And that's one thing that we always talk about that kind of irks me with some comedies, is when they try to inject drama into it. Just
that's one of my favorite things about that movie is they sustain the comedy.
It's interesting because I think that all good movies need to have some humor. Unless it's like The Revenant. Unless it's a movie that is designed to beat you down mercilessly. But I think most movies do it right when they have some humor in there. But I think that inversely, it's not the same. Like, I don't think drama makes a good comedy. But I think comedy does make a good drama.
Yeah, it's always good to have that little bit of levity in there.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing with What We Do in the Shadows is you do get a little bit worried there when they add the beast. They go down that storyline, but they're still able to keep the comedy in there.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited for his new movie that's going to be at Sundance this year.
I just want to see every movie he ever makes.
Yep, same here.
And I hope he makes a movie like every year.
Same here. Every year.
Every fucking year.
All right, what's your number 11?
My number 11 is That Sweet, Sweet Blood of Jesus.
Oh, boy. That sweet blood.
That sweet, sweet blood.
I just realized that I forgot Chirac. Shit. I must have forgot to add it to my list after I saw it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, well.
Oh,
that's
Jesus.
one I missed. This one I was just not real big on, that one.
Big fan of the visuals. They're all execution. And
Zara. He's back. He's
fucking back.
Big time.
Got 2 of them in there.
My number 11's Bone Tomahawk.
For whatever reason, you said Bone, and I was like, he's gonna say Bone Thugs and Harmony. I don't know why.
Bum 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 bum. And I'm gonna miss everybody.
But yes, they're not a movie.
No, they're not.
Bone Tomahawk.
I wish they were a movie.
Yeah, it'd be great. Bring that back. When are we getting that biopic?
I would love that.
It'd be fucking amazing.
So I was really struggling with Bone Tomahawk and The Hateful Eight. Like, these 2 movies, they're both Westerns. They both star Kurt Russell. And I could not decide which one I liked more. So, yeah.
Did you tie them up?
No, I was going to do a tie, but then I was like, no, ties are for wimps.
Ooh, ties are not for...
Actually, what did it? The tiebreaker for me was really the visuals, and The Hateful Eight just edges it out by a pretty large margin. So yeah, Bone Tomahawk number 11. If you haven't seen this, it is a horror western, and it is just, in my opinion, it was fantastic. I love the thing that really did it for me in this movie was the script. I think the dialogue was pretty amazing. Great. Unique characters. Again, fair amount of comedy injected into this one, and I think that it really greatly benefited from that. So
Yeah, it definitely lightens the mood a little bit.
That is not a handsome horse. Yes, Bone Tomahawk. If you have not seen that one, I think that definitely deserves to be talked about more. Great poster on that too. Damn.
Hell yeah, it's got a wonderful poster.
All right, what's your number 10? Getting
My
into
number
the
10.
top 10s here. Here we
Oh
go.
shit! And my first in the top 10 is actually a short, so this is different. 6 Cents in the Pocket from Ricky D'Ambrose.
Okay.
It's a short film, like 12 minutes, 13 minutes, 14 minutes, maybe 15. I don't know. Could have looked it up. Didn't. Again, visuals, the framing of all the shots, fantastic. The originality of it all. And one of the main things that I loved about this thing is there's a sequence where the main character, whatever, leaves the place and goes home. And during this time, they just stack shots of the path that he would take home, but they don't actually show him walking that route. And then it's scored by Albert Ayler, and it's fantastic. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Cool. My number 10 is The Hateful Eight. Big surprise.
Oh boy.
Tarantino.
I'm actually a little bit surprised.
That it's not higher?
Yeah.
Well, again, this is one where, so I get back from the theater, saw this in glorious 70 millimeter. It was plopped down at number 3 on my list. But then the more I thought about it, that it kind of dropped, and then it was back up, and then it dropped. So this one, it's all over my list at this point. I was reorganizing it right up to the wire. So tomorrow, maybe I'll amend the list and it'll be higher. But for now, The Hateful Eight's into number 10.
All right. Number 9 for me is Heaven Knows What.
Okay.
The Softies. This is just a bit of a brutal, raw film.
Yeah.
And I like their whole aesthetic, everything that they got going on in their films. The performances, the score, everything just works for me.
It definitely kind of adds new definition to the docudrama term.
Yeah.
So, my number 9 is Girlhood.
Whoa.
Yeah. So,
I was not ready for that.
Yeah, I loved this movie. I was able to see this in the theater, and I went into this one expecting nothing, and came out with a quite a powerful film for me.
I'll say. Ending up at number 9.
Yeah.
On top of Tarantino.
Again.
Oh boy.
Again, I've been reorganizing this.
No, they're locked in.
Incessantly, so.
Nope.
Yeah. For now.
You're locked. You now officially hate Tarantino. If we go by your history throughout the years, Girlhood being on top of The Hateful Eight means that you hate Tarantino.
Well, interestingly, this kind of goes back to what we were saying about, movies that get forgotten. I guarantee you, by next year at this time, I'm going to be like, why? Why did I put that there? Because The Hateful Eight...
You're already starting it. Oh, come on.
I can see it. I could see it happening, but right now, I think Girlhood... What I like to do for my top list is I try to do like a healthy mix of movies that I think people should see. Like I try to keep the list as interesting as I can. I mean, sometimes there are big budget popcorn movies that just I loved so much end up on the list regardless. But sometimes, if I can, I like to include movies that I think people should seek out.
Gotcha.
And Girlhood is definitely one of them.
Oh, I have one at number 8. And this is on Netflix Instant right now. You can watch this son bitch. And that is Approaching the Elephant, documentary from Amanda Wilder. This is quite good. Black and white documentary. Subject matter is forever intriguing. Just watching all this play out. One of those, I forget what they're called, the schools that kind of have, it's kind of like a democracy where the kids get to decide what they do throughout the day, like what classes to have, what to learn, and they vote on stuff. And it's something else watching this.
My number 8 is also one that's kind of something else to watch, and that's The Duke of Burgundy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I saw this. This came out pretty early in the year, and man, It's stuck with me. This is one that stuck with me. I love the visual style of this movie. It was right up my alley, and I think that it was just I don't know. I think it was definitely one of the most unique movies of the year for me, and directed by Peter Strickland. Just loved it. Loved Duke of Burgundy.
Loving that Duke of Burgundy.
And again, I mean, it definitely, the reason that it is so high up is certainly the visuals in this one. Good performances too. I mean, I'm not trying to discount any of the other aspects of the film, but
I don't think you're shitting on those performances.
They were great performances,
toilet. But a human toilet.
Human.
Okay. So what? 7?
Yep.
Number 7. Another one that's on Netflix instant. That's Wild Canaries from Michael Lawrence Levine.
This was a great little comedy.
I always have a tendency to rate comedies a bit higher, mostly because I think just doing comedies, I think, more difficult. When it comes to the other types of films, like dramas and stuff, you're dealing with pretty much universal human emotions, whatever it might be, grief, loss, whatever, all that type of stuff. But not everyone's funny.
Right. And
you can't just be funny.
Yeah. And comedy is, I believe, and I think we've talked about this before, I think it is the most subjective genre in film. Like, if there's a comedy that's just not your style, it's not going to land for you. It's not going to work. Yeah. And also, again, we've talked about it numerous times. To me, it feels like comedy, while people love comedies and they love a good comedy, it's kind of undervalued, it seems like, especially when it comes to like year-end lists and awards and stuff. Like, no one takes comedy seriously. No, it's the same as horror. Nobody takes them seriously. Yeah, they're somehow less than, and that always bothers me. But making people laugh is fucking hard. Yeah, I totally agree. Kind of bouncing off of that, my number 7 is It Follows. This is a horror film that I think it is getting attention. It is getting awards attention this year, and I think that it is certainly a film that breaks the mold when it comes to kind of pigeonholing the horror genre. Yeah. And I think that again, visually, this movie is just leaps and bounds above most other films in the genre, and it's just absolutely worth checking out if you haven't seen this one yet. All right. 6. Macbeth. Justin Kurzel. I wish I was able to fit this one in, but I'm so confused by this one too. I mean, it's Macbeth, it's Shakespeare, it's Fassbinder, it's Marion Cotillard, but it seems like it didn't really get a release. It got a weird release, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, there was so much going into it too, like the trailers and the marketing that I saw for it, and then just like nothing, just kind of like fizzled out. They just kind of snuck it out for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there. Yeah. Holy shit! Visuals, and visuals. My number 6 is Heaven Knows What. Oh, look at you! Yeah, huge fan of this one. It is a great movie. Like you said, it is a brutal film in a lot of ways. I mean, if you are in kind of a rotten mood, don't watch it, or maybe follow it up with some sort of palate cleanser directly after, because it will beat you down. This is a really tough movie to get through, but it is superbly made, and the fact that Ariel Holmes, it stars her, and it's based on her life, and and it's essentially her reenacting her own life. I find that infinitely interesting, especially considering how difficult her life was. And keep in mind, this is one that Peter Travers says is not for movie pussies. It's not for movie pussies. Oh, God. That should be his pull code for that. For every movie from here on out, it should just say Peter Travers says, not for movie pussies. Alvin and the Chipmunks, road chip, not for pussies. All right, here we go. Top 5. What's your number 5? Shit, what is my top 5? Oh, my first one. You can get this sucker on Fandor.
Get your Fandor. Sign up for that shit. Stinking Heaven from Nathan Silver.
This
This
is
is
actually playing in theaters right now if you live in New York.
oh well, good for you guys. I would love to see this on the big screen. Shot in Betacam. How many movies came out this year shot on Betacam?
One.
One. It's called Stinking Heaven. Go fucking watch it. The visuals, the originality of this thing, the performances, the entire ensemble is great. It's an extremely dark black comedy about a sober home where they're having a lot of trouble staying sober and being good people. And I highly recommend it.
My number 5 is The Tribe.
Oh, see, one that I didn't get to see.
This I feel like this is one that it got woefully overlooked this year. This is a truly unique movie-going experience. If you see The Tribe, if you're not familiar, it is the entire film is in sign language and there are no subtitles, and just it's that in and of itself is like nothing I've seen before. And when you fold that into this strange, very dark story about this school for the deaf that is completely corrupt in every single way, where it's sort of like Blue Spring, where the kids are basically running the place.
They're awful people.
Most of them are just terrible, awful people. It is just a fascinating movie. Again, very brutal, very tough to watch at times, but absolutely worth seeing. And this, again, it's called The Tribe. I don't think it's out yet.
No,
you're right. On VOD.
You're right. That was one that, when it was playing festivals and when it first came out, I mean, fucking everyone was talking about this thing.
Yeah,
and then
it just got forgotten. It's
nothing.
Yeah, it's really a shame. I feel like I don't know. Draft House put it out, but
exactly. So I would imagine that it's on like Amazon or something.
I don't know if it is yet. If it is,
something.
If it is, definitely check it out.
I should look into that, I guess.
Yeah.
Number four. One that hasn't really dropped, and it's been there pretty much all year. Sabbatical from Brandon Colvin.
The Longstreet action.
Longstreet. Gotta get that Longstreet. Are you kidding me? Everything about this, the framing, the cinematography, that ending, the Longstreet action, and just the overall look, the whole aesthetic of this film, quite enjoyed. Muted everything. Everything's muted.
Yeah.
Mute all of it.
Pretty much the opposite of muted. My number 4 is Tangerine.
Yes, I would say the opposite of muted.
Everything was pretty bright and vibrant in this.
Everything through a megaphone.
Yeah. So I was looking up, just out of curiosity, I looked up the budget from this movie. $100,000. It had a $100,000 budget.
Yeah.
And I'm maybe it's just because it got nominated for so many other awards, but it wasn't nominated for the Cassavetes Award at this year's Spirit Awards.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I mean, maybe it's I'm guessing it's because it was also nominated for Best Picture, and they didn't want to double up, and they wanted to kind of give that award to maybe a less higher profile movie. But I don't know. It's kind of weird.
That would be my guess.
Fantastic movie. I absolutely loved Tangerine. I think that it was absolutely a marvel to look at. There were some fantastic performances in this, and I think that everybody should just check this out, especially budding filmmakers, so you can see what can be done with a very small budget and an iPhone.
Yeah, it is ridiculous what they're able to pull off there. My number 3 is Mad Max Fury Road, George Miller, and main reason, fire tornadoes.
Fire tornadoes.
Fire tornadoes. I'm a big fan of fire tornadoes. There's a lot of action involving fire tornadoes. There's explosions in and around fire tornadoes. So I'm gonna say Mad Max Fury Road at number 3 for those reasons.
Did you hear that they're possibly going to be releasing a black and white version of Mad Max in theaters?
Yeah, I would like to see that a lot.
Yeah, I think that'd be really interesting to see, because it's the color in this movie. It's so saturated and bright, I would like to see what that looks like in black and white.
You'd be watching a completely different movie.
Yeah,
I want it.
That's why I'm really interested to see that. My number 3 is Mommy, Xavier Dolan. Yeah, I loved this movie. I loved it. Absolutely freaking loved it.
Nice.
It was an emotional roller coaster, and I was just so transfixed on this one the whole time.
Nice.
Just can't recommend it highly enough. I'm still a little on the fence about him as a director, but this one really, really.
Why though? Because that's pretty much. Well, it's not.
Why am I on the fence, or why did I love this one?
Why are you on the fence? Because I was thinking, I think you've pretty much liked everything from him, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I don't know why I'm on the fence. Well, I wasn't a huge fan of Tom at the Farm.
You're just playing hard to get.
I really liked Lawrence anyways. That's probably my second favorite of his.
Damn straight.
But, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not. I don't know why I'm on the fence, honestly.
We got to work through that. We'll dedicate a podcast to that one.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is, interestingly enough, it's a short. In Search of the Miraculous by Sam Kuhn. 16mm short, only like 15 minutes long. 16 minutes. Again, I don't know the length. I could have looked it up, but I didn't. I do know that I've seen this movie like 27 times this year because it's on Vimeo for free, and I just pop it on occasionally. I'll just be like, what can I do? Watch this, and just keep watching it. And I just love everything about it. This is one of those picks that there might be some personal bias, you know? Like, do I actually think that it's the number 2 best film of 2015? Maybe not, technically speaking, but personal, yeah.
Well, these are personal lists. These are my favorite movies. These aren't necessarily what maybe. You know what? I'm gonna say that I think they are the best.
And I'm more than likely, as soon as we're done this, I'm probably gonna watch it.
Nice. Speaking of personal bias and favorite movies, my number 2 is Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Holy shit, Star Wars.
Yep.
Spoiler. Apparently you liked it.
We're gonna get into this in just a little bit, but man, I had such a great experience with this movie, and this one easily landed on right up there for me. So
nice. Now I'm trying to think of like what your number 1's gonna be.
It should be obvious.
Yeah, now I do know. For a second there, I was like, what could it be? And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I know what your number 1 is.
What's your number 1? I already know yours is.
Yeah. I like how we're predictable. My number 1 has not changed, actually, from 2014, really. Because I had it as my number 1 last year, but turns out it didn't come out last year. So mine is Hard to Beat God. And the main reason is for every single fucking thing that's in this movie. It's just, this is insane to me. This entire movie is just insane. I don't understand how someone was able to pull this off.
Yeah.
Everything blows my mind in this movie.
It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy production. My number 1's Mad Max. Big surprise.
Oh my goodness.
big surprise there. This just, I've said it, I've talked about this over and over. Everybody's been talking about this over and over, so I don't need to beat a dead horse. It's just amazing, and I loved it.
I heard it has fire tornadoes. Is that true?
I believe that there are. I believe that there are indeed some fire tornadoes there.
I'll have to check that shit out then.
Yeah, I think so. So that's our top 20s. Pretty varied list this year.
God,
we had some of the same ones, but it's pretty unique, I'd say.
I would say so. Some surprises.
Yeah.
Frustrating picks that just piss you off. Who knows?
No, not really.
Everything. I know. Just trying to make it more dramatic.
You can tune into the website this week. We'll have more lists that are coming up. You can check out Kevin's best male and female performance articles. Those are getting a lot of traction. Those are really good and really solid lists. I would add, after seeing The Revenant, I'd probably add Leonardo DiCaprio to your male list.
Yeah, probably. I figured that.
Oh. Again, I'll get into it a little bit later, but let's go ahead and move on. Also on the site, we'll be having other specific lists. Like I'll probably do a top 10 horror movies. I don't know if we're gonna be doing top 10 docs this year. Usually we try to fit that in. I'll be doing worst movies of the year, all of that fun stuff. So keep an eye out this week and probably next week too for some additional stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into our review of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So this has been out for 2 weeks now. I think that it's safe that anybody that wanted to see it has seen it probably multiple times. So I'm going to put a spoiler warning up for this entire review. We're not gonna separate spoilers or anything like that. This is going to be a full-on spoiler review. Anything that happens in the movie we can talk about. So if you have not seen it, if you do not want to be spoiled, check the time codes in the show notes and skip ahead to after this is over.
Stop listening right now, because the first words that are coming out of my mouth for this movie are going to be spoilers.
This is directed by J.J. Abrams. It's written by Lawrence Kasdan and J.J. Abrams. And it stars Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Lupita Nyong'o, Andy Serkis is in there, Donald Gleason's in there, Anthony Daniels, Max von Sydow, Peter Mayhew.
Whew.
Yeah, Gwendolyn Christie. Lots of people in this one. I have a synopsis here. 3 decades after the defeat of the Galactic Empire, a new threat arises. The First Order attempts to rule the galaxy, and only a ragtag group of heroes can stop them, along with the help of the Resistance. Now, obviously, you just heard where it landed on my list. So we'll start with you, Kevin. What'd you think of Star Wars: The Force Awakens?
I forget where it landed on my list, because it was a part of my post from yesterday.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember where it was on your list.
32 or 31, something like that. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. Now, obviously for me, if you follow the show or anything, I only watched the originals. Like, what was that? Like last year, the year before?
Last year.
So I'm not someone that's like a diehard Star Wars fan. I'm not like completely fully invested and all those types of things. So my expectations were, I didn't really have expectations going in. I was just hoping for a fun time, really. That's all I wanted. And that's pretty much exactly what I got.
Yeah.
And I have to say, because I saw this with Ryan. It was a guy's day out. Me and Ryan went and saw this. And we're talking about it afterwards and kind of discussing and everything. The main.
First of all, what was his reaction?
He liked it.
Okay.
He enjoyed it. But he was still thinking about some things. He wasn't quite sure. The best part of it was I took him home, and before I left, he was like, "Hey, what are you doing next weekend?" I'm like, I don't know. I have some things going on, and I'm not sure. I was like, "Why? Do you want to do something?" He was like, "Well, if you want to see Star Wars again, just let me know."
Okay, so
we can go next weekend.
All right, so he loved it.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as we came out, he was like, "I'm gonna have to watch that again to fully form my thoughts." And then we were kind of thinking about it, and the main thing that came up was that, what did you think of it compared to the original?
Yeah.
And for me, thinking about it a little bit, and I kind of came to the conclusion that I think I've liked it more than the original. And it's for 2 main reasons. Simple reasons.
Hold on. Real quick. Okay. Do you mean the original, all of them together, or just
no, just the original, yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you want to call it. And for 2 reasons. Number 1, I fucking hate C-3PO. I fucking hate that character. I hate him so much. So there wasn't that much of him. And actually, when he popped up on the screen, in my head, I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me." But luckily, he wasn't around that often. And I don't like Luke Skywalker. He's just, all he fucking does is whine and complain. And I just don't like him. So we don't have those 2 things. And I like all the characters that are in this one. So I gotta be honest, I kind of like it more.
This is something that I've been kind of milling over in my head as well, and I think that it's a tall order to say, like, oh, I'm pretty sure that this one's better, because especially because I've seen the original so many times, and I've grown up with it. I've had it my whole life,
Well, that's
So
what I mean. Like, I
it's
don't have this like huge
right,
attachment.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're taking the nostalgia out of it completely. You're taking because you don't have those memories.
Exactly.
So I think that that's kind of an interesting perspective. Now, I would say that it is on par with the original. I would say that it is at least equal to the original for me. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say that it's better than Empire, but really you would have to compare apples to apples in that case and say, is the second one, is episode 8 going to be on par with
Well, and
Empire?
that's,
Because by and large, this is pretty much a remake. I mean,
yeah,
it
pretty
follows
much.
almost the exact same beats
Yeah.
as the original Star
And it
Wars.
has like all the same themes and everything.
Yeah, and I mean, like the characters, the new characters in this are pretty much parallels of the originals. And some people draw issue with that. Some people are criticizing it for being too close to the originals, but it's like you can't win. It's like this is what you guys wanted. This is you wanted the original Star
Yeah.
Wars, and that's what you're getting here. So why are you complaining? Just be happy that it's good.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, again, we talked about it numerous times how it's like they're just trying to build up the goodwill. They're trying to win over people, and because everyone's kind of trepidatious. Is like, is this going to be the whole prequel thing again? So it's kind of like their way of just like gently putting a hand out, and we're sniffing it, like, oh, okay, yeah, this seems okay. In the sense that, like, the main thing that I thought after watching this is for me that made it a success in my eyes was, do I want to go on more adventures with
Right.
these people?
Yes,
And
exactly.
yes, I do. I like them. I want to see them in adventures, and
Yeah.
I want to see new locations, which was the biggest thing for me, is that I loved all the worlds that they went to.
Hmm.
Absolutely loved it. Loved the look of them, and I just want them to go places. I don't even care if they have to blow up a ship or anything. Just go places and hang out, and maybe lightsaber battle once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
Sign me up. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, exactly. I think yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that this movie was pretty much all just it was all about characters. It was all about introducing us to these new characters, establishing them, establishing their role in this world and reintroducing us to this world
Yeah.
because we've been away from it for a long time and they pretty much just write off the prequels completely in this one. I don't remember any kind of mention of anything that occurred in the prequels. So that's good. I take that as a win. And one of the big things for me is just the look of this one compared to because it looked more in line with the original trilogy rather than the prequels. The
It looks
prequels
good.
looked awful.
It looks good. Like everything involving when we're introduced to uh, Daisy Ridley's character Ray, like all of that just looked gorgeous. Where she's like, scavenging through the wreckage and everything. And then when she comes out, you see the giant ship, and she's
Hmm.
just a little speck, and she slides down the hill and everything. It looks fantastic,
Yeah.
and that's what I want from Star Wars.
Yeah, and I think that all the ships, all of the robots, the machinery, the aliens, they all looked in line with the original trilogy, and they looked completely different than all the stuff that happened in the prequels. Like everything in the prequels was shiny and CG, and everything looked animated and just too clean. Whereas in this one, it's a lived in world. It's a world that's been ravaged by war and everything looks real, and that's probably because most of this is all practical effects.
Yeah.
Which,
The only thing that kind of worries me a little bit, and again, this might be, I don't know who else is worried by this. Maybe it's just me, but because I don't like Luke Skywalker, I'm worried of what the next one's going to involve.
he's gonna train her.
I know, and I'm just like, how much of an involvement is he going to have? Because
I can almost guarantee you not much.
I hope
I was
not.
actually surprised at how much Harrison Ford was in this. I mean, he was like a big part of this movie.
Yeah,
Like he was in it way more than I thought. I thought that what the original cast was going to have in this was going to be pretty much a glorified cameo,
yeah,
but they actually played a much bigger role than I expected. I mean, now Mark Hamill obviously was a cameo, but that was all just set
He
up.
grew, he grew a beard.
He looked
I
like
think that
Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's what he looked like. And
that
I'm
was
sure
his
that
involvement.
what?
That was his involvement. He's like, I'll grow a beard. You're like, okay, that'll work.
Yeah, so Han Solo getting killed. What'd you think of that?
This is funny because after the movie, Ryan has to go to the bathroom, so I wheel him into the bathroom, and you know how long that takes getting everything
process.
situated in. So as we're trying to like wheel him past everybody, because the fucking bathroom is packed, all the theaters let out at the same time, and Ryan not being able to control the volume of his voice just goes, "I can't believe they killed Han Solo." I'm just like, Ryan, shut your mouth. Like, he yelled out the biggest spoiler in a room full of people. Like, come on, man. Yeah, and I don't know how many people's, days he ruined. But he did that. But it was predictable as all hell. As soon as he shows up and as soon as you're like, God damn it, what is with you guys? And killing dads.
As soon as they met on that catwalk or whatever, I knew it was all over.
Well, even before that, when they're like, "Oh, he's your son," I'm like, "Son's gonna kill dad." Bet you, you know it, because Han Solo. What the Harrison Ford was probably like, "I'll be in the movie, but kill me or something," because I don't want to be in all the other ones. And imagine you got to. Considering that, you know how much money he had to make just to show up in this one?
Well, yeah, I think that they said he made more than all of them.
He had to, because they had to at least give him like 3 movies worth of money for one film.
Yeah, he made more than all of them,
which is just insane.
Well, I thought he did a really good job. In fact, I thought that it seemed like he was actually trying in this movie.
Yeah, well, and I'm happy too. I'm happy because it was the main thing about this film that kind of irked me a little bit. I liked that his involvement was pretty good because they actually like wrote him into the story and he had things to do. But everyone else, kind of like what you said, is like a glorified cameo. And it just feels like, hey, remember the old ones?
Yeah.
Remember this guy? And it's like, can you fucking stand on your own, please? Like, I don't want to hear 3CPO talk anymore than I have to. I don't need Carrie Fisher really doesn't do anything. She just pops up and it's like Princess Leia, right? Huh? Nudge, nudge. It's like, cool. Your characters are interesting enough. Let's move forward with that.
Well, she's like a general now, so she's leading.
I know, but I gotta say that I am happy moving forward because I like these characters enough that I just want to see these characters. I want to see Daisy Ridley. I want to see Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
I want to see them.
Yeah, same here. I thought that the new characters were very strong. I mean, like I thought they did a really good job developing these characters. They were funny, they were witty, they were badass. I'm really excited for all of those things.
I do think it's a bit odd because me and Ryan were talking about this too. It's like Rey, okay? I mean, they kind of skipped over a lot of things here, but it is the way they set her up. So she's someone that doesn't know that she has the Force. All of a sudden, she realizes it, and next thing you know, she's fucking unstoppable.
Yeah.
So if she trains, she's gonna be fucking Superman.
Yeah, actually, I had this exact same conversation with my friend Jesse. Because
she's gonna fucking destroy everyone.
She gets a lightsaber and instantly knows how to use it and fight with it instantly. And now she's gonna be trained. Presumably, she's gonna be trained by Luke Skywalker, who is the strongest Jedi of them all.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna be an unstoppable force.
She's already fucking manhandling Kylo Ren.
Yeah, exactly. Who was also trained by Luke Skywalker.
And they talk about how like fucking powerful that guy is, and she's manhandling him like literally 5 seconds after figuring out she has the Force, and she's wrecking everyone.
Yeah, she's gonna destroy everyone.
Which, yeah, I want to see her destroy everyone.
Now, what do you think? What do you think her backstory is? Do you think she's Luke Skywalker's daughter?
There's going to be some dad angle.
I think she's Luke Skywalker's daughter, but I'm
fucking obsessed with dads.
yeah.
Oh my god, it's gonna
Now,
be something.
now speaking of Kylo Ren, what did you think of Adam Driver as the villain, Kylo Ren?
I think he works. I think I like him as he
Yeah,
works for me.
I
I
like
think
him.
him freaking out, I thought was a bit much, but I don't know. That's a minor quibble.
Well, the
It's just
issue,
like why is this guy so high up and have so much responsibility when he's like he acts like a 5-year-old?
well, because he's like disturbed because
I know, but
light,
if you're gonna try and build an empire, maybe when you're looking for management and higher positions, you want to make better decisions than what you have going on here because you got a guy that just goes into temper tantrums on a drop of a dime. You can't have that in management.
yeah, because he's like caught somewhere between the light and the dark side. Like he's trying. It's like he's trying to be on the dark side, but the light side is
Yeah, which you would think if you're building an empire, you want to make sure someone is full on dark side.
full on dark. Yeah,
I mean, just bleeds it. Every inch of his body bleeds the dark side.
yeah.
Not a 12-year-old temper tantrum guy. It's not quite sure. He might be on some days.
Yeah, yeah. What'd you think of John Boyega?
He was great. I enjoyed him. And like you used to, I think you hinted at when we talked before I saw it, the humor
Yeah, he was definitely the sort of the comic relief that was occurring, and I liked his character Finn. He reminds me of Han Solo, sort of.
A little bit. Plus, you have Rey's kind of like Han Solo too.
Mm-hmm.
And like, God, they just made everyone Han Solo.
Because Han Solo is the best character in the original
Exactly.
one.
They're like, we're going to kill Han Solo, but we're going to replace him
with 5 Han Solos.
with 4 or 5 other Han Solos. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think that the character of Finn is an interesting character. I like his origin, how he's a stormtrooper that is conflicted. I like the beginning, how we were able to identify him with the blood on his mask. I like that little touch so that we'd be able to differentiate him from the million other stormtroopers in the scene. I like Oscar Isaac's character, Poe Dameron. See, now, comparing this to the Hunger Games, we're talking about the names here.
Okay.
These are some badass names, I think. I like these names. Finn, Rey, Kylo Ren. To me, these are cool names. Comparing them to, like, Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah.
And, like, the names in movies, some of these fantasy sci-fi movies are so lame. And these names, they fit to me.
They work for you?
They fit. Yeah, so I think that Oscar Isaac's character is going to play a much bigger role later on. The same can be said for a lot of these characters, like Lupita Nyong'o. She was barely in it at all. And Gwendolyn Christie as Captain Phasma. We didn't even see her. She was in a mask the whole time, which I thought was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
And I guarantee she'll be back in a big way later on
But I do love the fact that I got to see people from the raid. As soon as they show up, it's the fucking raid guys. All right.
Yeah, I was losing my shit. I was like, oh my god, what are they doing? That was so cool. I mean, that had to be that was definitely like a J.J. Abrams had to have seen the raid and just was like, I gotta have those guys in my movie.
Yeah.
That was really cool that he included them. Unfortunately, they didn't really have a chance to be badass, but
no, they kind of got destroyed by those koosh balls.
Yeah. So what did you think of the action? I mean, there's plenty of action in this movie, lots of action.
I like the action. I pretty much liked everything. There's things that I don't like. It was like, okay, did it retread a lot of stuff, and it had some of that fan service whatnot in there, but it's a good time. The action's great. The locations are great. I love the creativity to it in the visuals and the effects work. Maybe not the storyline and the themes and such, but it was fun. I had fun. And that's all I want from Star Wars. I'm not sitting here thinking, preparing myself when I go into Star Wars like, this is going to be fantastic. I
And
mean, the Maison scene is going to be unbelievable. I can't
he,
wait. I just want fun. I want adventure, and that's what I got.
yeah, that's what I want in Star Wars too. I mean, it's a space opera. That's what I want. Is this giant epic space opera that has lots of characters, lots of conflict, lots of action, giant set pieces, and
Yeah.
there was all of that in this. I mean, there was some great space battles, like some aerial combat. There was some great hand-to-hand fighting. There was plenty of shootouts. I mean, it was just fantastic. It was everything that I could have wanted in a Star Wars movie. Like I said before last week, in my very brief thoughts on this, I liked the BB-8. I thought that robot was awesome.
Much better than that gold hunk of junk shit. God, I hate that guy. I thought it was a little bit ridiculous with the R2-D2. Where it's just like he doesn't work anymore.
Yeah,
and like 3 minutes later, like, oh shit, he worked. Cool. It's like that was kind of lazy, but whatever.
Yeah, you don't want to put too many robots in.
Yeah, you don't.
It'd just be overwhelming. It'd be overwhelming with the cute robots.
Yeah, I think BB-8, right? BB-8.
BB-8.
Yeah, I think he's got enough. Like you got enough cuteness in one robot.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of personality too, which I liked. I liked the whole lighter thumbs up thing. That was, and I don't like the grappling hook thing that he can do.
Yeah, kind of stabilize himself.
Yeah, I thought that all that stuff was really cool, and the design of that robot is very cool.
It's great.
The fact that they were somehow able to make bring that to life.
Yeah,
I thought was just excellent. The attention to detail in this movie is one of the things that just really impressed me. Just everything about it.
I think the first thing that won me over is when Kylo Ren stops the laser
that was so
coming at him.
badass. Oh my god!
And the way that they held it, and the visual of how it looked, like it's all this kinetic energy stuck in one spot, and it was just like, damn, that looks great.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a really.
And then later on, when she's fighting with Luke's lightsaber, and you see it's kind of like the old fashioned. It's just a solid light, and his is just like uncontained energy.
Yeah,
just like bustling around, and it's like, damn, I like that. I like the small things. I like the small details.
Yeah, there's a lot of really small detail. One of the things that I liked a lot about this was the scene when she was eating the weird little bread pellet thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was just such a small thing, but it looked so cool.
It's just they made it right in front of you.
Yeah. Like I don't know what that was or how they did that, but it was really cool.
Yeah, but it's those little things that sell the world.
Exactly.
That sell the adventure that you're in.
Yeah, exactly. When you make big sci-fi fantasy movies like this, it's all of those small details that really kind of transport you into this place, into this fantasy world. And I think in this case, J.J. Abrams did a fantastic job with, again, reintroducing us to this world that we've been away from for so long. And I'm not counting the prequels because I think that they were a hindrance in that. Like they took us out of that world.
Yeah.
And now I am really excited to see what Rian Johnson's going to do with the next one.
I can't
wait. It's going to be great. And if it's the thing that has me excited is that, now the characters are established. We know the characters. We know most of their backstory. Obviously, we don't know Daisy Ridley's character. We don't know where she's coming from. Like, we don't know who her parents are, and I'm sure that they're going to reveal that to us in probably the next one. But now that all the characters have been established, they can start, developing the plot more, and then we'll see them being badass. More badass. Yeah. And I like all that. So, yeah, Star Wars, big thumbs up for me. I was extremely pleased with it. I knew that it was going to be better than the prequels, so, my expectations were fairly high going into it. And like I said last week, I think that I was the perfect person to see this movie because I'm not such a fanboy of the of the series and of the property in general that I would nitpick it. Like I'm not. I like it, but I'm not such a rabid fanboy that I'm not going to see like, well, actually, during this time they didn't have that model of robot, or whatever.
Yeah,
Like that's just not. Like there were some people that were like, well, where are the, like there's certain, like the Y wings, like where are the Y wings, where are the B wings, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't know where, I don't know, I don't really care. Like it had X wings, it had X wings in it, so. And it had the Millennium Falcon. I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah, it had enough for me to enjoy myself. Like I said, do I want to see more adventures? Yes, I want to see Daisy Ridley destroy everyone.
And I'm actually really excited for the side movies that they're going to be releasing as well, because they got some really great directors at the helm for those too. And I like the idea of, because this is such a huge world, I feel like we're missing out on so much, because there's so much else going on other than this one giant, war that's happening.
Yeah.
I would like to see some of the smaller things that are going on in other parts of the galaxy and all of that stuff. So I think that, Rogue Squadron is going to be cool, and the Han Solo one, I don't know if I need that one, but we'll see.
I think it'll be interesting when we get to the point where there's a Star Wars movie every week.
Well, that brings up another interesting thing. Not only was this movie just monumental, but it's just going to change everything. Like from now on, Star Wars is going to be in our lives. For the rest of our lives, we're going to have Star Wars.
It's going to be a bit much at times.
Like because they're basically going to release one pretty much every year forever. So yeah, we're going to have Star Wars for the unforeseeable future.
Yeah.
All right, let's give this thing a score. Kevin, what are you going to give Star Wars: The Force Awakens?
Star Wars: Force Awakens. I'm going to give it like a 7.5, 8.
All right, nice. I'm going to give this one a 9.5.
Wow.
It's like a 9.5. Somewhere in the middle, 9.25. Yep. Obviously, that's playing in theaters right now, so if you haven't seen it, I want to see it again, actually. I have not seen it a second time, and I want to see it again. It's one of the few movies that I actually want to go back to the theater to see.
Yeah. Because
I just had that much fun with it. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our watch list. We're going to breeze through a lot of these because we're running short on time. I saw Black Coal Thin Ice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Caught this one. Caught it up.
Catch it.
I had a great time with this. Like you said, what was that, last week when you saw it?
Yeah, that's right.
Cinematography in this is
it's gorgeous.
Borderline outstanding. The camera work is especially notable. There's some really.
There's two for me. The first is that the
tunnel.
The tunnel where they have the camera fixed to the front of the car and it passes and it circles back around and everything. That was amazing. And then the one where they go to the ice skating rink and she's skating away and he's kind of like following and they
down the road.
That shot back.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh boy.
Yeah. I pretty much mirror everything that you said last week. It's just a great procedural. I would say if you liked Memories of Murder, if you liked Cure, definitely check this one out. It's like basically the Chinese version of Memories of Murder.
It's quite good.
Yeah, definitely. Black Coal Thin Ice, that's on Netflix Instant.
Get it. My turn, huh? What do I got? I got Breathe from Melanie Laurent. Her debut, I think, right? Actress turned filmmaker. I'm pretty sure it's her debut. This I wasn't expecting where this film goes. From the outside, it's kind of just, new girl comes to school. They strike up a friendship. They get really close, and they have some trouble because they both kind of interested in the same guy, and she has some secrets and all this stuff. It's kind of typical, and you're like, okay, I've seen this before. It's solid, but I've seen this before. But then, man, it just starts switching into different moods and different atmospheres. And she does it so well. And I mean, it hits you. The ending is a bit too much for me, but overall, I thought it was pretty fantastic. I was quite surprised by this one.
And that is Breathe. I'm not sure. Looks like you can play this on Amazon Instant.
Yeah, I think it's on iTunes as well.
Okay. Let's see, what else do I have here? Playing a lot of catch up with the end of the year. So I saw Steve Jobs. Really liked this one. Really enjoyed it. Didn't crack my top 20. It probably could have easily made it there if I didn't see it so late before having to complete my list.
Yeah.
I really like the way that Danny Boyle presented this. How basically it was 3 large events in Steve Jobs in his life, and the entire movie, each one takes place essentially backstage of one of the giant Apple press conferences, one of the presentations. So like, the first one is the introduction of the Macintosh, and then the next one is the introduction of his next computer after he was ousted from Apple, and then the next one is the iMac. And it's just it's a really interesting way to kind of present to do a biopic, really. And the fact that he decided to shoot it on 3 different mediums, I thought that was also interesting. Although you can't really tell. I mean, it all kind of has a uniform look to it, even though he shot it on, I think it was like 1632 in digital.
Okay.
But yeah, I liked it quite a bit. I mean, Aaron Sorkin, I have a soft spot for Aaron Sorkin's script. I like his dialogue style, his very fast dialogue style, and I think that he chooses projects that fit his style.
Are they just a lot of walking, talking in the backstage?
Yeah, there is. I mean,
endless corridors.
Yeah, there is.
Walking and talking.
There's not. It's not overdone, but yeah, there's some walking and talking.
Get that walk and talk.
But yeah, I recommend it. I think that Kevin, you would probably like Steve Jobs, even though you're not the biggest Danny Boyle fan anymore. I think you would probably like this. It's not overly stylized like a lot of Danny Boyle's movies. There's some stuff that he does, like he'll do like he periodically kind of projects things on the walls behind people as they're talking and stuff, so he does add some visual flair to it, but it's not egregious. But yeah, I do recommend Steve Jobs.
I only have one more, and that's I was able to see Tears of God from Robert Hilliard Barnett. This is an American indie that's going to be, hopefully at some point in time it comes out. This has been made by an undistributed list that I did earlier this week, and oh my goodness, this movie. Oh boy. I feel bad for the other movies that are going to come out in the year that this comes out, because I can already see this being like top 3 for me. Nice. It's just unbelievable. The cinematography in this is just outstanding. A lot of things that I haven't really seen before in film. And it's got Caitlin Sheil plays the main character, and it also has the lead singer of Future Islands playing a priest type thing. And it's a horror movie of sorts, and it's a bit brutal. It's pretty in your face with some of the stabbings and whatnot.
So you're saying that I should definitely see this?
You're gonna like this one. You're gonna be into this one. I hope everyone is into this one, because it is something.
Cool.
It is quite remarkable.
Keep an eye out for that. That's Tears of God.
Yeah.
I saw Joy.
Oh boy.
David O. Russell. Not into Joy. Did not like Joy. Yeah, didn't. It started off really strong for me, but it really fizzled out. Just really. I mean, he's got to. I like David O. Russell, but he's got to do something different. His next movie has to be something different. It can't be freaking Bradley Cooper and what's her name? Because God, it's just more. It's just wearing you out. It's wearing out. It's wearing out its welcome. I mean, Jennifer Lawrence is great in this. She really is. But Just the movie itself, it just nope, did not work. So can't recommend Joy. That's playing now in theaters if you want to seek it out. I saw The Little Prince. I'm not going to talk about this one a whole lot because it's not out yet. But man, I don't know if this was eligible for Best Picture nomination or anything at the Academy Awards this year, but it should be, because this was by far the best animated film I've seen this year. It's
Nice.
it's great. It is. I loved the book growing up, so this one really quite an emotional little journey. The way that they handle the adaptation of the book is interesting too, and it's the film itself is a blend of, it's mostly CG, but they also do this kind of like paper style stop motion animation where it's like 3D paper models.
Yes.
And that's all, that stuff is outstanding. All the animation is fantastic. There's some 2D animation in it too, like they actually animate illustrations from the actual book too. So it's quite a mix of things, and it's just a great way to present the story. It's not just a straight up, retelling of the book. Like the plot of the book is in there, but the way that it's presented is a lot different, and I liked it a lot. I saw The Hateful Eight. Seeing this in 70mm, actually projected in 70mm, was quite an experience. I got to see it at I went to see it at the theater that's right by my apartment at City Cinemas Village East, and they have a giant their big theater. It's kind of like converted from an actual like theater, and so it's old, it's very large, and just a great location to see a movie like this. It's if you're not familiar, the 70mm version is actually like 6 minutes longer than the multiplex version, and it's got an overture and an intermission in it. So yeah, all told, it's like almost 3.5 hours. So it is quite an experience. You also get a nice program, like they give you a program when you go in, and it's like this big full color program. It's really cool. Just a great movie going experience. So I would highly recommend seeing it in 70mm if you can. The movie itself is very much a Tarantino movie. It's exactly what you would expect from a Tarantino movie. Oodles of violence, just so much blood and gore in this movie, more than I expected. And it's probably his most divisive film in a lot of ways. It's pretty much Reservoir Dogs. It's a lot like Reservoir Dogs, and maybe that's why I didn't absolutely like 10 out of 10 love it. But the characters are worth the price of admission, because each one of the characters is just so colorful, and the dialogue in this movie is out of control, and it's just a great movie going experience. So absolutely check out The Hateful Eight. I mean, hopefully you'll be able to see this soon, and we can do a full review for it. Same with the next one that I saw, The Revenant. Oh boy, this one is brutal. I'm not going to give anything away about this movie, but we all know from the synopsis, right, that he gets attacked by a bear, right?
Yeah.
That scene is mind-blowing. It looks so real, and it is so horrific. The shit that happens to him in this movie, you're just like, oh my god. And just as I was watching it, I was like, how did they make this movie? This is like, it's like one of those movies in the 70s where you watch it and you're just like, holy crap, how did they shoot this? How did people not get killed on the set of this movie? It is wild. I mean, it is quite a ride. Definitely not a movie for everyone. Just because of the brutality. It is extremely violent. It is extremely, at times, shocking and hard to watch. And it's like 2 hours and 36 minutes, so it's pretty long too. But I wasn't feeling the length. Like the length, it did not get to me at all. It's a pretty crazy story too. I mean, it tells a true story of Hugh Glass, and man, crawling for 200 miles in the wilderness. It's wild.
I just have this image of like that's 2 hours of the movie. Like everything you see in the trails, the first 36 minutes, and then the last 2 hours, just him crawling. In real time.
It's just
2 hours of crawling.
It's like it's just a series of unfortunate events that happen to this guy. It's just when you think it can't get worse for this dude, it gets
worse.
So much worse.
Wow.
I mean, he's getting attacked from he's got to deal with the elements, and then he's got to deal with Native Americans. He's got to deal with everything just barreling down on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a wild movie, and the way that it's shot, the camera work in this, the cinematography is out of control. It is just incredible, and I want to see it again. I really do. So that's The Revenant, and that's our watch list. Let's talk about some predictions.
All right.
What were you gonna say?
I said we're done. We did it.
Yeah. Joy, you said 70. I said 82. Actual 57.
Wow.
The Hateful Eight, you said 74. I said 86. Actual 76. Concussion. Yeah, that one. Kind of forgot about that one. You said 54. I said 58. Actual 60.
Wow.
Point Break. You said 32. I said 23. Actual 4.
Wow.
Yeah. Didn't expect that one to be too good, but man,
I didn't think it would be that bad.
Yeah, they ripped that one a new one. The Revenant, you said 80, I said 83, actual 80. Right on the money with The Revenant, nice.
Yeah.
And Daddy's Home, you said 56, I said 61, actual 28. Yeah. It's fun. I don't know why we would ever release Point Break or even Daddy's Home that weekend, considering there's so many heavy hitters. They're coming out with it.
Yeah.
Next week, we got A Whole Lot of Nothing. The Hateful Eight, I believe, goes wide next week. So,
that'd be nice.
Yeah, so you can check that out. The only other wide release that I'm aware of is called The Forest. It's a horror movie about the suicide forest in Japan.
Okay.
The suicide forest is it's a really interesting story, but I'm not sure if you really need a fictional horror movie made out of it. Yeah. I think if you check out the Vice documentary, that's pretty horrific enough, really.
That'll take care of it for you.
Yeah. So on this one, I'm gonna say, I'll say 36.
I'm gonna say 12.
All right. In limited release next week, also not a whole lot coming out. We have Lamb and Anesthesia.
I want to see Lamb.
I have a mild interest in Lamb.
I want to see it.
Next week on Video on Demand, we got nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's another holiday weekend, so it's like they're waiting. On Blu-ray next week, we have Bone Tomahawk. Check that out if you haven't yet.
I thought you were gonna say Bone Thugs Army again.
Live in concert. Hitman Agent 47. I did not see that, but I heard it's quite bad.
Sounds bad. Looks bad.
I'll probably watch it when it hits Netflix or whatever. Heist. That's the one with De Niro. That's not good from what I understand. And that's pretty much it.
All right.
Any criterions next week?
No criterions. 0.
Nice. So I would say next week, maybe check out Hateful Eight in theaters if it's opening in your area.
I'd say check out Hateful Eight and listen to some Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, there you go.
Fucking enjoy yourself.
Now tell me what you're gonna do.
I just want to hear you rap more Bone Thugs.
I'll rap Bone Thugs all day. Crossroads.
Nice.
I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet and @FilmPulseKevin. And take a minute to look at our Patreon page if you could. That's patreon.com/FilmPulse, and consider helping us out by becoming a subscriber. We appreciate that so very much. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson, and we'll see you next week.